A Perth mother who killed her drunk husband with a single stab to the heart after he assaulted her has been found not guilty of murder. Vanriaitongarol Amnio Bruning has been on trial in the District Court of Western Australia for the past week, charged with the murder of Alan Bruning at their Manning home, in the city's south, on April 10 last year. The court heard Mr. Bruning, a 41-year-old fish filleter from New Zealand's North Island, had brought some work colleagues back to the house to continue drinking after they'd been to a tavern and their barbecue plans at a park were rained out, Perth Now reported. The men had been playing a slapping game in the garage in a bid to see who could endure the most punishment while the drinking progressed to sipping spirits straight from the bottle. The play became more rambunctious, with the deceased knocking one of the men unconscious during a tackle. Afterwards, the couple became embroiled in an argument about cleaning up that escalated to Mr. Bruning physically assaulting his wife. It ended when the accused woman's 13-year-old son intervened. Defense lawyer Anthony Ayres said his client then ran into the adjoining kitchen and grabbed the first weapon she could find, a filleting knife, because she feared her husband would keep hurting her and could kill her. The court heard she had long been frustrated by his excessive drinking, but was terrified as she had never seen him that enraged with a look of hatred in his eyes, nor had he previously assaulted her that seriously. "He scares me. He can't see me when he's drinking," she said during her testimony. "I asked him to stop, to not come near me." Mr. Ayres said his client did not thrust the knife at Mr. Bruning, but rather he ran at her and impaled himself on it, arguing his client acted in self-defense. Prosecutor David Thiering said Emil Bruning deliberately stabbed her husband, having decided to hurt him as he had hurt her. Mr. Ayres said Emil Bruning's reaction to the verdict was one of quiet dignity. She went immediately home to take care of her eldest son, now aged 15, another son aged 14, and a 6-year-old girl whose father was Mr. Bruning. The history of the relationship had been a generally failing marriage, and although he had been physical with her to a degree, he was highly intoxicated at the time in question and reacted in a way that she'd never experienced before, Mr. Ayres told AP. The jury found she did what she did entirely to defend herself. It wasn't an accumulation of domestic violence, it was sudden and uncharacteristic territory for her. Mr. Ayres said he was pleased with the verdict. "It's not often you get an all-out acquittal on a murder charge in Western Australia.